Bakhmut has been at the center of fighting between Ukrainian and Russian troops for the last 9 months. Wagner's mercenaries are serving as the main shock force in Russia's efforts to expand its control over Donetsk Oblast. However, in the past 9 months, they've only made incremental gains, with Ukraine still controlling parts of the town. Although many military experts debate its strategic value, Ukrainian officials have underscored the importance of sticking to Bakhmut's containment. The video was recorded by an unmanned aerial vehicle, whose operator found a target and adjusted classic artillery fire on it. The fighting in Bakhmut approached the city's train station, further indicating that the situation had deteriorated for the Ukrainian forces. Imagery shows months of brutal fighting that has left streets and buildings in ruins as muddy trench warfare continues outside the urban area. The Ukrainian supply route connecting the besieged city to nearby Chasiv Yar is increasingly under threat. About 100,000 Russian troops died fighting for Bakhmut. Colonel Serhiy Cherevety, spokesman for the Eastern Group of the Ukrainian Armed Forces, said that was a rough calculation in an interview on Ukrainian TV. A video shows Ukrainian forces destroying an 82mm mortar from Russian invaders while firing into positions in a courtyard near a completely destroyed house in one of the occupied villages in the Donetsk region. Ukrainian artillery gunners continued to hunt Russian troops in front of observers and drones, such as during an attack on the BMP-1 infantry fighting vehicle outside Bakhmut. Last night, missile and artillery units of the Ukrainian armed forces destroyed a large ammunition depot of the Russian invaders in the Pervomaisk area, which has been occupied since 2014. This was reported by local residents and a soldier of the Ukrainian armed forces, who maintains the East page on the social network Twitter. The Ukrainian general in charge of the defense of the besieged city said late on Sunday that Russia had intensified shelling and hoped to capture Bakhmut on Tuesday, Victory in Russia Day, the anniversary of Nazi Germany's defeat in the Second World War. Colonel General Alexander Syrsky vowed to do anything to prevent it. On the other hand, bickering broke out in Russian ranks with Chechen dictator Ramzan Kadyrov, criticizing Wagner Group leader Yevgeny Prigozhin for complaining on social media about the supply of ammunition to his soldiers. At 4:07 on May 8, he wrote, "Pervomaisk, Kalinovo, Selo 5, it's time to observe the explosion in the USR." Residents of Pervomaisk also wrote about fireworks and explosions. And the interventors of the so-called SCKK from the LPR quasi-formation reported that at 3 o'clock a high-precision projectile from a multiple-launch rocket system of the HIMARS type arrived at Molodez. Meanwhile, Russia's Wagner mercenary group appears to have abandoned plans to withdraw from Bakhmut in eastern Ukraine, saying they had been promised more weapons by Russia. Ukraine says it has repulsed more than 50 attacks along the front in the east, with Russia's main thrust focused on the town of Bohdunivka, northwest of Bakhmut, whose control allowed Russia to directly target Ukraine's defensive line at Chasiv Yar, as it prepares for a counteroffensive to push Russia out of its territory. Ukraine continues to pressure its Western backers for more financial and military aid. The Ukrainian armed forces are reportedly skeptical about claims made by the leader that its fighters will allegedly start leaving Bakhmut. The General Staff of the Ukrainian Armed Forces reported on May 8 that Russia had lost 194,970 soldiers in Ukraine since the start of its full-scale invasion on February 24 last year. This number includes the 540 casualties suffered by Russian forces over the past few days. Earlier that day, the Kherson Oblast Military Administration reported that Russian troops had attacked the region 42 times over the past day. Fighting in the area has been divided into two theaters: street fighting within the city and long-range battles in fields and villages in the northwest and southwest, in which Russian forces attempt to outflank the Ukrainian army. Petro, a tank operator in the 10th Mountain Assault Brigade, said fighting had slowed in their area in the northwest recently as clashes in the town had escalated, with the Ukrainian military reporting the arrival of new reinforcements from Russia. Ukrainian troops recaptured the city of Kherson last November after nearly 8 months of occupation by Russian troops, who recaptured it soon after launching a major invasion. The area is now a frequent target of artillery fire from Russian troops dug across the Dnieper River. Meanwhile, among the tank crews stationed along the front line with Bakhmut, attention remained on the nearby battle, which was the epicenter of the war. Ukrainian officials say the intensified fighting in Bakhmut is part of Russia's bid to capture the city on May 9, the date when Moscow celebrates World War II Victory Day. Russia is sending reinforcements, including additional numbers of Wagner mercenaries and Russian paratroopers, according to Ukraine's Deputy Defense Minister Hanna Maliar. The statement from Maliar appears to contradict the May 5 announcement by Wagner chief Yevgeny Prigozhin that he would withdraw his troops from the city on May 10 due to insufficient ammunition. The fiercest battles have been in the eastern Donetsk region, where Russia is struggling to encircle the city of Bakhmut in the face of dogged Ukrainian defense. White House National Security Council spokesman John Kirby said the U.S. estimate is based on newly declassified American intelligence. He did not detail how the intelligence community derived the number. Joint Chiefs of Staff said in November that Russia had suffered well over 100,000 killed or wounded in the first 8 months of the war.